for our first day back, we're going to be taking it nice and easy, just kind of getting back into the rhythm of things. And we're going to be working with color and applying color. Now, the one thing I'll say is that most of us have our Illustrator expired. So we're going to be using Gravit, which is very similar to Illustrator. It's just a free version until we can get all your licenses updated. So to do that, you're going to see on Google Classroom, I have a few attachments here. You're going to hit the thing that says Gravit Cloud. It should take you to something that looks like this. Hit and don't download. Okay, now most of you have a Gravit account from earlier in the year. You should use your ComSci email to make one. If you don't, it'll prompt you to create one with your Google account, and that's fine. Now here's what I want you to do first and foremost is go to File, Save to Cloud As, and save this on your cloud. What that's going to do is if you lose the file, you computer freezes, whatever, it has a backup somewhere. I would highly recommend just putting your name at the end, and that way it has a copy for you basically. It might take a second or two to save, but there you go. Now to do this work today, you're going to do two things. First, you're going to start off by choosing a mood that best reflects how you feel about going remote for 2 weeks. Now I feel quite mixed about it, so I'm going to drag this little circle to mixed emotions because that's genuinely how I feel. You're going to drag it to whatever emotion you feel. If you're happy, you're anxious, you're calm, whatever. Okay, now part 2 of this has you just coloring in this layout here with the colors from this picture. Now, very similar to Illustrator, you select the shape with this black arrow up here, right? And you can use the eyedropper tool that's located where it says fill right here. If you hit this little eyedropper tool, you can still color, just like you would in Illustrator. Now you're allowed to make slightly darker or lighter versions of the colors here, but you're really supposed to stick with this color scheme. You can also add black or white. Okay, I'm asking you to fill out this whole layout, but I'm also asking you to include 2 gradients. Now, I want to show you how to do gradients on Gravit since we've never really done that. So let's say I want this background to be 2 shades of this blue. Okay, now I'm going to go where fill is here. When I click on that little circle on the top, you see where it says color fill? I'm just going to drop this down, this little arrow, and hit gradient, the type of gradient I want. Linear gradient. It's very similar to Illustrator, just has a slightly different interface. Okay, so now I have a linear gradient. But just like Illustrator, it goes from white to black. To change the color, I have to click on the little bar here. You see how there's one at white, one at black? So I'm going to click on the white, and I'm going to set it to this blue color. Right, and I can use my little eyedropper right here where the color sliders start. I'll do the same thing with the dark part, the black. I'm going to use the slider, the eyedropper again, and hit the darker blue. So you see I have a nice pretty gradient there. I'm also only asking for 2 gradients. If you really love gradients, you can put more. If you're not a huge fan, you just have to at least have 2. Now, there's 2 things you should know about Gravit before we kind of let you go. First is I'm going to ask for something called a check-in, and that's relatively new. I'm going to ask you to take a screenshot or save a JPEG of your file. It kind of just shows me while you're working that you're on task. So midway through your work time, I'm going to pause everyone and ask you to go to a certain file. So I'm going to ask you to go here. And you're going to see your name here and a number next to your name. So let's pretend I'm Micah. I'm going to go to number 27 and hit the little hyperlink I put next to the number. And I see I have 27 here. I'm going to write my name. Sorry, Micah, I'm pretending to be you just for today. Okay? I'm going to put the screenshot or the check-in of what I've done so far right here as a picture. So let's show you how to save it as a JPEG. We're going to go to File, Export, and just hit JPEG. That's it. You can save it anywhere you want. I'm going to put check-in. Once I have it saved, I'm going to go back to my Google Slides where my name is, go to Insert, Image, find my image from my computer, and just drag my picture here. This does 2 things for me as your teacher. 1, it lets me see that you're actively working. 2, it lets me make sure that you don't have any misconceptions. So you're not wasting your time doing something that's not going to get you credit or incorrect. Okay, that's midway through. Now in the last 5 minutes of class, I'm going to tell you to save your work and upload it. You can just, once you're done, again, we're going to File, Export, JPEG, and that's the file you'll upload to Google Classroom today. And then hit Turn In. All right, good luck.